I just want to start this video off a little differently. We're shooting this on Saturday night, a little later than usual, and I'm sure my neighbors are probably going to be annoyed by me talking loud for a bit. But today has not been the greatest of days nationally, if you've caught any of the news or social media. And there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in this world, especially in this country right now. And it's very difficult to want to sit here and talk about paintings or even make art with all the chaos and death going on. And it's very, very frustrating seeing this country go the way it's going right now. So it's easy to lose hope and get sad and distressed and angry. Real easy to get angry, especially with everything going on. But I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not much of a political commentator at all. I mean, there's plenty of people that do that all the time. It's just, as a veteran and as somebody who's grown up in this country my entire fucking life, it's frustrating to see the way things are going nowadays. And even more frustrating to see the people just applauding and cheering it on. It shows that there's a great deal more apathy than empathy in this country when a man just trying to save people from being bullied gets fucking shot for no fucking reason. That person's dead now. A nurse for a veterans hospital. A mother, just recently, a mother of 3, shot dead in her car, dropping off her kids. I just want to know what the fuck anybody that was actually elected to do something is doing about this. Because there's only so much protesting is going to do. And if you just keep saying vote, 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 well, honey, I don't know if there's going to be anybody left to vote come November with the way shit's going, to be honest with you. So y'all need to step up and do your fucking job. Because this is getting ridiculous. It really is. We're going to go ahead and try our best to do this video anyhow. Because, I mean, really, it's just difficult to even want to put on any of this or talk about something as colorful as art right now, or even make any art with all the craziness going on. And I know that that's a minor inconvenience on my part, but all the shit going on in this country is a hell of a lot more concerning. So I don't know what to say about that shit. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So let's try to get on with the video. What's happening, Captain? What's new, kangaroos? It's your dandy, Candy, and welcome to the third installment of What the Fuck Was I Thinking? Where we go over the artwork that we've done throughout the years, whether that be paintings, sculptures, or anything in particular in between, and try to explain the meaning behind what we were thinking when we made them, what they represent. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over 5 different paintings as well as 2 sculptures that we made. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Kind of look like Robert Smith. Now, the first painting that we're going to be going over is a happy painting, which we could really use right about now. It's called Joy, if I do recall correctly. It's been a while since I painted it, and sometimes I can't remember the names of these pieces. This piece represents the small joys in life, whether that be something material or immaterial, that bring you a little sense of happiness. Front and center in the middle of this piece is a big old cup of coffee, because I do love me some coffee. I drink it all day, all night. I'm a huge fan of the coffee. And on that coffee is emblazoned a pretty little pink frosted donut with sprinkles. If you didn't know, I am pretty obvious. I'm a bit of a fan of the pink frosted donuts. Boy, I hope this bra don't get me in trouble. And behind that coffee cup, we have this little weed pen poking out that has these streams of red, green, and purple behind it. Those are symbolic of the different strain types that you can get your weed pens in. Red representing sativa, green representing hybrid, which is a cross between sativa and indica, and purple being indica. They're done in metallic paint, so if you look at it in person, they kind of shine a bit. I can't really afford to do that anymore. I mean, I lost my medical card, and even if I still had my medical card, because of how little I make on my night job, I really can't afford that shit no more. But I can still enjoy a nice cup of coffee. Off at the bottom of it, you'll notice that there's this little row of peanut butter cups. I am a sucker for peanut butter cups. I love me some chocolate, and some peanut butter is absolutely scrumptious. And off in the background, you'll notice these beautiful palm trees with this lovely cloudy sunset. As somebody who's worked outdoors a lot throughout most of my adult years, one of the things I used to really enjoy the most out in this ridiculous heat is palm trees and sunsets, especially cloudy ones. Just something so beautiful about the sky getting lit up with all those vibrant colors bouncing off of the clouds, and how peaceful palm trees can make you feel, very zen-like. So that's joy right there. Just the little things that you kind of need in life in order for you to keep going, to be honest with you, because the world's fucking crazy right now. On to our next piece. Our next piece is entitled Man, and it is a representation of what I perceive as a man being, what I have to mask myself as just to make it through the day. What you're seeing is a mannequin head that is a robotic mannequin head with no mouth, a coin slot in the center of its forehead, surrounded by mirrors. It's a very cold colored piece. It's got a lot of blues, a lot of purples, a lot of cool colors in there. And that's to represent the turning down your emotions, turning down your vibrancy just to get by. And that's a thing I've had to do for a long time in my life, because colorful folks that were AMAB, best way to describe that. And I'm sure some folks know what I'm talking about, some folks don't know what I'm talking about. But that's the thing I've had to learn throughout the years to just get by, just to find a job, just to work, just to have some kind of semblance of peace in my outdoor life. It's not the greatest of pieces, to be honest with you. It represents that frustration of having to shrink yourself down and put a mask on just to exist. And it's really frustrating nowadays when I see a lot of posts of queer folks that are talking about going back in the closet, or fellow trans folks talking about detransitioning because it's safer. And that's what that represents. It's the safety behind a mask. The coin slot is money focused. The only time that the opinion of man is needed is when money is involved, essentially. So that's what that is. It's that mentality of needing to be a robot, essentially. And it's very frustrating. It can be very frustrating. There was a long time ago where I didn't worry about all that. When I was in my teen years, when I was in my 20 years, I was as vibrant as I am on these videos with y'all. But when I moved out here to Arizona, not my choice. That type of vibrancy doesn't really jive too well in certain parts of the valley, especially in the East Valley. You got a lot of conservative folks out here, and it's kind of hard to even get a 9-to-5 out here if you're a little too much on the fruity spectrum. And that became even more difficult after the 2008 recession. I spent about 2 years just trying to find a job and masking as hard as I could to just not pick up on anyone's radar. You know what I'm saying? Just to be of service. And I really lost myself a lot in that mask, in that persona of that. I tried to convince myself that maybe I was always a cis hetero dude the whole time. And it made me a person I didn't like being. I really hated being that person. I lost a lot of friends and a lot of confusion during that time, throughout my 30s, pretty much. From my late 20s to my all the way through my 30s for the most part. And it's really frustrating when I see people, again, that are talking about detransitioning and going back in the closet. And I know that it's safe. It's safe. I get that. But do you really want to live a life that's just safe? Because honestly, you're not going to like how you end up being if you're just concerned about safety. Now, I know that there was that really stupid quote that a lot of celebrities love to say years ago called "It Gets Better." And no, it really doesn't fucking get better. And I think a lot of the queer celebrities that came up with that phrase, that jumped on that bandwagon talking about "it gets better," really should look, really should be a little ashamed of yourselves, because you're setting a lot of people up for a lot of danger. The world's a dangerous place, especially for queer folks. But it's a lot more dangerous pretending to be something you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more dangerous and unhealthy for you as a person to put on a mask all the time, hide behind being a robot just to make ends meet. It's frustrating. It's real frustrating, especially with all the shit you see in the news every day. But yeah, for a long time there, I was that robot, and it's going to connect into the next piece as well. But yeah, that's what that is essentially. The mirrors on it are essentially just the robot reflecting back what they see, picking up on the personalities of the people around them and just reflecting it back, because that's again just trying to be safe. So yeah, that's man. It's an autonomous robot that's only time their opinion matters is when money's involved. Just mirrors the world around them. On to our next piece. Now, our next piece also connects in with the man painting. This one is, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Again, sorry, I painted this a while ago, and I forgot a lot of the names of these paintings. But this one essentially is about conflict that we were just talking about there between safety and being yourself. It's a piece that you can actually hang either way, with the robot end facing upward or the feminine side facing upward. It's designed that way on purpose. That's why the signature's on both ends of it. And it's essentially a conflict of ego, of whether or not you want to continue to put on this mask and be this robot of service, being money focused and having the ability to just do the basic things of paying your bills or setting something aside, or being who you are on the inside and living your life through joy and art and creation. That's what this piece represents. That's why you've got one side of it is this beautiful long-haired feminine form with three eyes representing an awakened state of being. And the other end of it is our man robot with his coin slot and money trailing behind. Stars are a thing that you'll see a lot in my artwork as we continue this series. And I was going to bring this up with joy as well. Stars to me are a cryptic symbol of joy, shooting stars, essentially, reaching for the stars. So I use stars in my artwork a lot to represent a sense of joy, happiness. And that's essentially what this is. It's a conflict of the ego, being yourself or being of service. So that's what this piece represents. Usually I like to hang it with being myself, the feminine side upright, because that's usually how I want to be. It's a higher elevation of being, a higher state of being, rather than lowering myself down and boxing myself into this little mask just to make ends meet. And it is, I can tell you, right now, with the way things are, and not just outside, but personal life, it is so tempting to put on a mask. It really is, because I ain't got enough money to make ends meet. I really don't. But I can't work. I have to be here to take care of my mom. You know what I'm saying? She can't even get up. I have to do everything for her. And that does conflict with me being able to pay my bills and do things. So it is frustrating sometimes wanting to be yourself in a situation like this while also helping someone else out and worrying about bills all the time. So it is a lot. It is a painting that is on my mind quite a bit, especially nowadays, especially with as bad as it is out there. So yeah, that's what that piece is about. It's about conflict of personality. On to our next piece. Our next piece that we're going to be talking about is called Culture. This actually was one that we did a trinity of. We're going to be talking about another one of them as well. We've already discussed one of them. We may come back to discussing it in this video series as well. But this piece is Culture. And it is a representation of kind of like how my life has been most of my life, where I don't really socialize. I don't really go out much. I get I pick up a lot of stuff off of watching TV. I know there's a lot of folks out there actually like that, self-included. I grew up with in a narcissistic family, and my dad especially didn't like me going out and socializing with the neighborhood kids and going out and playing. He was very paranoid about kidnappings and all that other stuff. This is the 80s. Stranger danger was a big thing. And he really didn't like. So I was grounded a lot. If any excuse he could find that didn't involve beating my ass, he would find an excuse to ground me for ridiculous amounts of time. And after my parents split up and we moved out here as a kid, I didn't really get along too well with a lot of the kids in the neighborhood. So I usually spent a lot of my time indoors watching TV. And that has kind of stunted my social skills, to say the least. This piece is a representation of that. You've got this person on the inside of the TV, a TV head essentially, with streams of static hyper ribbons coming out of the TV, along with little ribbons of joy popping into it. And it's the streams of of hyper ribbons coming out of it, or all kinds of things, TV shows, TNA, news, and things of that nature. And you'll notice in the corner of one of the eyes is a teardrop. That's to represent how, even though I have a hard time socializing and going out and meeting people, I still want to go out and socialize and meet people. I just find it very difficult. And I know that it's not healthy to sit here all day and all night watching TV or being on the computer or being on your phone. It's just easier to do, because I have tried to go out and socialize, and it's always frustrating, especially the older you get. Because frankly, once you reach 40, people just don't know you exist, and it gets really difficult trying to find your tribe, trying to find your vibe out there when you spend a lot of your life watching TV and being indoors all the time. So the teardrop is a teardrop of frustration of wanting to belong, wanting to be a part of something, but basically being stuck inside a TV. So that's that piece. Culture picked up from what you see on the screen. And I know I'm not alone in that. There's a lot of my generation grew up being TV heads, latchkey kids. I can't tell you how many folks mostly live their life just spouting off catchphrases from movies and TV shows and commercials that they grew up with. I mean, nostalgia is a huge, huge thing. And a lot of people get real defensive over their pop culture and nostalgic things to a point where it's ridiculous. Like that new He-Man thing coming out. Frankly, I don't want to go see it myself because I'm not a big fan of Jared Leto. I think he's an absolute creep. But aside from my opinion about him being an absolute creep, you got a lot of people that are upset about the dumbest of things, like that stupid he/him thing on his placard. Which, what are you doing? His name is literally pronouns. What the fuck are you doing? It's a dumb thing to get mad about. But yeah, no, people love to gripe and moan and bitch and complain about any little thing that changes about something they grew up with, because for some reason they build this weird parasocial relationship with the stuff that they consume on TV or comic books or reading in general, just any pop culture thing that they pick up on. That a lot of people have this weird parasocial relationship with it, and they get mad when it's not represented to their liking. But yeah, so that's that piece, is culture. On to our next piece. Now on to the last painting, and then we got two sculptures that we're going to be talking about. This one is also part of that trinity we was talking about, called calm. Sorry, I have a bit of a southern accent, and the letter L is difficult sometimes. Calm. Okay, then. Now, this piece, it goes back to my days when I worked outdoors. I used to be a sign spinner for a small company that got bought out by a bigger company. And I did that job for about 12 years. 12 years, baking out in that fucking sun every goddamn day, spinning myself silly till I got tennis elbow and nerve problems. And one of the things that was really frustrating about doing that job, when you do a job outdoors, especially when it's something as performative as sign spinning, you get a lot of shit talkers that drive by, throw crap at you, yell insults at you, like, get a real job and shit like that all the time, even though it is a real fucking job, or tell you that you're not doing it right because you're not spinning enough for them. And one of the things I found that really helped me with cutting out that noise of all that crap, people being rude as fuck, because people love to be rude as fuck when they see someone on the side of the road with a sign. Y'all need to be a little better to people, is listening to music. I found music to be a very calming thing in general for me. When I get frustrated, when I'm in a mood, when I'm happy or sad, I usually put on some kind of music. I have my own special playlists and my favorite bands that I like to listen to, my favorite songs. Some of those would be like David Bowie, absolutely love. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, The Cramps, Indigo Girls, absolutely love the Indigo Girls from Germantown, fellow Tennesseans, salute. And this piece represents that. You got this floating head with the hair flowing off, third eye in the center of it for spiritual enlightenment, higher resonation. And you got these ribbons coming out of the headphones that are bringing out this paradise of palm trees and strawberry skies, cutting out this weird warpy noise that surrounds you all the time. Because that's how I view things in representing how I view the world. It's a lot of noise, a lot of static, and music helps to drown that out and bring me back to a higher elevation of emotional being. So that's what this piece is about. It's about how music can calm you. Music can change a bad day and make it into a good day. It can take you out of a frustrating, really dark time, because I've been dealing with a lot of dark times lately, and bring you back up to something to make you feel a little better, make you feel like life ain't as bad as it is. It doesn't really fix the problems, it's more or less a bandage emotionally, but it helps to level you out more. So that's what that piece is about. It's about finding calmness through music. Now that we're done with the paintings, let's get on to the sculptures. I swear we're about done. I am so sorry to my upstairs neighbors. Now, our first of these junk sculptures, I'm gonna call them junk sculptures. I know there's a proper term for it. We used it before in our disco shitter video. I just, off the top of my head, I can't remember it, and I got a pound of makeup on. Now, these pieces we made out of mannequin heads, wig bases. And the first one is called Bubblehead. Bubblehead is a representation of disassociating in a positive way. I disassociate a lot, and there are going to be some paintings that we'll be talking about down the road about disassociating. Disassociating is, in this sense, Bubblehead is imagining worlds that are better, looking towards the future in a brighter sense, trying to find inspiration to make things better. Essentially, it's got kind of a tokusatsu vibe to it, because I'm a bit of a fan of tokusatsu and sentai and things of that nature. So I'm not the most well versed in sentai stuff in general, and tokusatsu in general, but things like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Kekko Kamen, one of my favorites. Gonagi, I love me some Gonagi. We're birthday buddies, by the way, birthday twins, along with Dolores O'Riordan. But so it's got that kind of armored vibe to it, where it's like a bubblegum suit of armor with these little bubbles that glow. I put an LED light inside of the mannequin head to make them glow. It's mostly in the back. It's kind of a cool effect, but I don't usually light it up that much. And again, it's just trying to protect yourself from all the craziness going on by trying to imagining things being better and being hopeful. It's an armor of hope, essentially. So that's that piece. It's Bubblehead. It's just dreaming about a better life, a better reality, a better future, and using that as a way to motivate yourself and to protect yourself. And on to our final piece. This is the twin of that junk sculpture. This one here is called Infectious Love. This one kind of plays into that previous one we talked about. Because of my BPD, I find it very difficult to be in relationships, whether that be friendships or intimate relationships. And a part of that is because of this thing called limerence, which is where you get too attached and too obsessed with the person, your partner, whether they're a friend, your favorite person, or a romantic interest. And it changes you as a person, as a personality. It's almost like a virus, like an infection. It just takes over. You know what I'm saying? And it's not healthy. It's not great. It's not a good idea to obsess over anybody. It's not a very stable way of being. It's one of the reasons I don't date. I usually just look for friendship whenever it comes to people, whether that be men or women, because I am pan. But that's what this piece is about. It's about how love or feelings, emotions are really hard for me, because I feel them way stronger than a lot of normal people feel them. And I find it very difficult to form solid bonds with somebody, whether again, friend, favorite person, or lover. And it feels like an infection, like a cancer growing. This is what this piece is about. That's why it's got these hearts just bursting out of the side of the head and the neck on them, where they got this carved out Glaswegian smile on their face as well. It's just not a very healthy person, and it's just sprouting out. That's what it represents right there. And I've had this problem with favorite persons before and friends before, where I overshare or I just emotionally dump, and stuff just crumbles apart. It's just really difficult to find friends, to find relationships, to have somebody to talk to be there. And it's because of that limerence. It's because of that obsession that you end up developing, whether you want to or not. It's just how your brain is. When you got BPD, it's just how your brain is. And it's not an excuse, at all. I mean, it's really not, but it is difficult for me in a lot of ways to form bonds because of that. So that's why I'm usually alone a lot. And it sucks being alone a lot, but I also get it. I understand. I'm a bit much. I'm kind of hard to handle sometimes. And I do have my outbursts and it's especially nowadays with all the stuff going on. It's been very frustrating. And I totally understand people ghosting me or just wanting to not have a conversation and just not wanting to be there. And I get that. I do. It sucks, but I get it. So that's what that piece is about. It's about how love, again, whether that's platonic or romantic, how it can just kind of infect you and take over. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that piece is, infectious love. And I think we're going to go ahead and end it off on there. We did a couple of paintings, we did a couple of sculptures. We're going to do some more. We're going to try to do these at least once a week if we can, as long as we can. I mean, we got a whole buttload of paintings to go through, and it's been pretty fun explaining these to you. It seems that some of y'all really dig this format of doing things. We even changed the background because I realized that I was using the background I usually use for Finnegan on our last video, so we made a new one just for doing these videos. And if you like the puppets, don't worry. We'll get around to doing more videos with the puppets as well. But for these ones, what the fuck was I thinking? I think we're just going to do it like this because it's a little longer doing editing with the green screen, putting the pictures up there. But it would be even longer for me to try to work out dialogue with the puppets and then doing all that extra shit on top of it. And I want to put these out at least once a week if I can. So it's just going to be us talking in front of the green screen or poster board. But let's go ahead and finish this up. If you're new to the channel, we've got ourselves an Etsy shop. There's the link right there. I just stepped on some bubble wrap, so if you heard that, okay. And everything that you've seen here is for sale. We don't have prints of everything, so some of these are just straight up original piece if you want the original piece. They're not all on the Etsy shop, so if you see something you like and it ain't on there, let me know. I got myself some social medias you can hit up, Blue Sky, Instagram. And if you want to help out us, help out the channel, we really could use every penny we can get. Venmo link right there. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and finish this up. I'm really hoping that this donut brawl don't really cause too many problems. It was fun to make, but a little risque. With that being said, this has been Candy Dandy. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good one.